Good morning, sixth graders. Happy Monday. I'm really happy to see all of you today, even though we're doing this digitally. Today is going to be a pretty easy lesson, actually. This week, we're going to have an easy lesson. That being said, you need to make sure that you have a pencil, a piece of paper, and a happy attitude here as we go into this. You guys are going to be doing some definitions today, okay? So make sure that you have a piece of paper, a pencil in front of you. Make sure that you have the textbook page open. I'm going to give you a second to pause the video if you need to go and grab those. Okay, well, welcome back. So today we are going to be covering angle classifications. We know all about shapes. We know about triangles, squares, hexagons, pentagons. We know about all of these different types of shapes, but we're going to be kind of focusing here for the rest of the year on triangles. But before we get into the triangle itself, right? So before we focus on the triangle, we need to focus on the angle portion. We need to know what and how to classify different angles. This is something that you probably touched on last year, but we're just going to review a little bit today so we can rock and roll here as we start to learn about the different types of triangles and the different types of area that triangles have. So we're going to be talking about angle classifications. I'm going to go through here today and we are going to be making a definition. I'm going to be writing terms right here. And you guys are going to basically get those terms, and then you're going to have to identify them. Use the textbook. You can copy directly from the textbook. That is absolutely fine. But your assignment for today is to make sure that we have all the terms that I have listed here defined. And then tomorrow we will be working on the examples, and we will be working on an assignment on a Google Forms. If you guys have any questions, I am always available via Google Classroom. This is not meant to be super difficult work. It's meant to be work that you are able to be successful at. If you don't feel like you're being successful, please let me know. I'm here to help, my friends. All right, so let's look at this piece of art. Claire's art teacher gave her an image and asked her to make a painting that recreates the image. Claire likes to paint general shapes as her starting points, then draws in more details later. This is a normal artist thing to do. The first shape that she notices is the hat on the woman's head. She sees that the hat looks like an angle. If Claire recreates the angle on her painting, will she have a right angle, a straight angle, an acute angle, or an obtuse angle? In this concept, sixth graders, we're going to learn all about angle classifications. So our first term, my friends, an angle. An angle is formed when two rays connect at a single endpoint. So right here, we have two rays, right? We have one ray right here. If my highlighter loads, we have one ray right here and one ray right here. Now they do connect. They will connect right here, right? This little point that I just highlighted in, I hope, purple, now it works. That is what we call an angle. So your definition on your piece of paper should be, an angle is formed when two rays connect at a single endpoint. We can measure an angle in degrees. When measuring an angle, we are measuring the space between two rays. So degrees, my friend, is our second point. Degrees are how we measure angles. The arc that represents the space between an angle, the arc represents the space of the angle that you're measuring. So right here, highlight in a different color, in orange, right here, that distance between the two rays, that is the angle that we're measuring. That's the arc that we are measuring. The arc is very large. Or this arc right here specifically is very large. The space between the rays is so large that the angle is large too, right? We can classify or organize angles according to the size of the angle. So according to the size of the angle that we see, because right here between these two angles that I have zoomed in, one of them is the arc is very big and one of them is pretty small. We can organize angles based off of the size of this angle. The size of the angle is classified according to the number of degrees. So we're going to classify our angles based off of how many degrees it has. We have 4 major types of angles. We only have 4. That's all. So let's look at our first angle. We have a right angle. A right angle is an angle that is exactly 90 degrees. So that should be your definition. A right angle is an angle that is exactly 90 degrees. It's easy to recognize it because it forms a corner that is straight. So if you guys see an angle that is just a corner, that means it is a right angle. Often with a right angle, we see a little box in the corner too. So if you look right here, you see this little box that's in blue? That is the sign that this is a right angle. So when you write your definition of a right angle, what I would like you to do is I would like you to make sure that you also write or draw what a right angle looks like. And it looks just like this. So pause the video now if you need to catch up on any of our definitions, and then we're going to continue. So our next term is an acute angle. An acute angle is an angle that is greater than 0 degrees, but it's less than 90 degrees. I don't know why my tab stopped working here. Let's see. Oh, I know why. My stylus shut off, guys. So we have an acute angle. So we have an acute angle. An acute angle is the angle that is greater than 0 degrees, but less than 90 degrees. Here's an example of an acute angle. So it's greater than 0, but less than 90. You should have that written down in your notes. Greater than 0, but less than 90. Look at your textbook if you need help with that. Draw the example of an acute angle. This is an acute angle. I like to say that they're acute angle because they're so little. So next we have a straight angle. Straight angles form a straight line. So if you just see a straight line and then ask you what type of angle it is, that is a straight angle. A straight line is equal to 180 degrees. The angle on a straight line stretches from one side to the other on the other side indicated by the arc on this picture. So you can see right here, it looks like a straight line. It is a straight line. But the arc, the measurement between the two rays, that is a straight angle. That is exactly 180 degrees. And our final angle, my friends, is an obtuse angle. Obtuse is an obtuse angle. An obtuse angle is an angle that is greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees. Here's an example of an obtuse angle. So you can see right here. So my friends, you guys are done for the moment. Make sure that you have all of your definitions done. If you have any questions, please, please, please contact me via Google Hangouts. But this is your expectation for today, is that you have all of these terms right here: angle, degrees, right angle, acute angle, straight angle, and obtuse angle written down. All right? If you want, you're more than welcome to go work on a topic of Alex if you feel like you want to do some more math. Or if you want to talk, feel free to contact me via Google Hangouts. But without further ado, we're going to jump back into Tuesday's lesson when we go through the examples here. Okay, guys? So, welcome back, guys. Earlier, we were given a problem about Claire and her painting. Remember from yesterday how we were talking about Claire's art assignment was to recreate a picture? And this looks like a Renaissance painting. She normally starts with her shapes, right? We remember that from yesterday. Look at the top point of the hat and the angle as the hat moves down her head. Is the angle right, straight, acute, or an obtuse angle? So let's first look at the painting. Look at that right there. So we have an angle. Does that look like it is a right triangle, like it is a corner? No. So if we're looking at the very top point, is that I'm going to try to recreate the painting here just a little bit. So we have the woman with her braids of hair. Then we have her tall, pointy hat. She's kind of given a little sideways look, right? She's sad. Does this look like a corner right here? No, it's not like a corner like on a square. Is it bigger than a corner or less than a corner? It's less than a corner. So what do we call a degree or an angle that is less than a right angle, less than 90 degrees? Look at your terms from yesterday. What do we call an angle that's less than 90 degrees? We would call that, we would call that a right or an acute angle, right? So our first term is an acute angle. Nice job. So I'm going to zoom back out, get back down to angle 2, or example 2. I'm going to erase my beautiful work of art there. You guys were very lucky that you were able to see it. Consider yourself art experts now because you saw Mr. Engel's beautiful work of art. Is the following angle obtuse, acute, right, or straight? So is it exactly right? Is it a perfect corner? No, it's not. It's not like a corner that you'd see on a square. So we know it's not a right angle, right? So we know it's not a right angle. Is it bigger than a right angle? Yes, it is. So we know it's not acute. Now we need to figure out, is it obtuse or straight? Is it a straight line? No, it's not. So it has to be obtuse. It's bigger than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees, right? Perfect. Now let's look at this next one. Is this angle greater than or less than 90 degrees? Is this greater than or less than 90 degrees? Is this greater than or less than a right triangle or a right angle? It is less than. Look at it right there. I mean, you can tell that is much smaller than a quarter on a door, right? So that is what do we call an angle that's less than 90 degrees, but greater than 0 degrees? We would call that an acute angle. Nice job. All right, example 4. Is this right, acute, obtuse, or straight? Is it a straight line? No. But is it a perfect corner? Yes. So do we call this an obtuse, an acute, a right? It would be a right. Nice job. All right, now on example 5. Is this angle acute, obtuse, right, or straight? So is it a perfect right triangle or right angle? No, it's not. Is it a perfect straight angle? No, it's not. So is it bigger than a right angle or less than a right angle? It's bigger, right? It covers up more than a quarter of a circle. So that would be an obtuse angle. My friends, that is where we are going to stop for today. You guys will have an assignment on Google Classroom. This assignment is not meant to be hard. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, do the assignment, maybe work on a little bit of Alex if you have some time. But besides that, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. I miss seeing you. I hope to talk to you guys again very, very soon.